everyone, and welcome to Insight. Insight is a show about the people and places of El Segundo. And joining me for this edition of the show are reporters Jennifer Murillo and Catherine Chen. Welcome, ladies.
Hello.
Hello. Well, as you know, El Segundo has a rich history. In fact, Jennifer, didn't you meet with one man who clearly remembers the past?
Yes, Michelle, I actually met with Charlie Porter. He's lived in El Segundo for 60 years, and he actually just celebrated his 90th birthday. But don't be fooled, he's still sharp as a whip. Take a look.
Charlie Porter is a big part of El Segundo's history. For many years, he helped community members, neighbors, friends, and the youth. Today, at 90, he is the longest living retiree of the El Segundo Police Department.
Oh, I think of all the happy days I spent beside the spot and the games we played at Laddie there shall never be forgot.
Born and raised in Wisconsin, Charlie was part of the Navy before he met the young woman who stole his heart.
I've been overseas 3 years in Africa and met her. And, wow, it's the girl I'm going to marry.
In 1948, the couple married in South Dakota and had their first child, Charles II. Soon after, a friend told Charlie about a job opportunity as a police officer here in California, and they headed this way. Although neither had come before or had even heard of El Segundo, they were ready to give it a try.
The first impression of El Segundo, I came down Main Street. Wow, a big wide Main Street, beautiful high school on the left. On the right was a big, huge park. I just fell in love with El Segundo.
Charlie says his home was one of the best investments he ever made.
To work at the police department, I had to buy a house in El Segundo. So I had to buy this house.
Their home since 1959 is one he wouldn't trade.
Well, I love it. I wouldn't move to from El Segundo for nothing. El Segundo, that is a town for me. El Segundo, the best town you ever see.
Charlie was with the El Segundo Police for 26 years. He first started as a patrol officer in 1951, then as part of the detective division with primary duties of juvenile officer in 1958, and by 1959, he was appointed sergeant.
In 1954, I know everybody, they're all passed away now except Jack Partlow in the back, and maybe one of these other officers that left our department, I'm not sure. All the rest of them, I'm sure, passed away. Boyd Coulter, Kent Annis, Roach, Frank Berkline, Searles, Johnny Booterbaugh.
On the morning of July 22nd, 1957, Charlie and his partner were returning to the station when they saw that two of their fellow officers had pulled over a car.
We were southbound on Sepulveda when we heard the call and turned the corner, and there they were.
There was a man in the driver's seat. The man's face was one that Charlie never forgot. Moments after they drove by, the man fatally shot and killed both officers and became the biggest murder mystery case this city has ever seen. Charlie became a key witness to the case and fingerprinted hundreds to find the suspect. It would take almost 46 years to solve the case. All those years, though, Charlie never lost hope. The murderer was finally convicted in March 2003.
We helped solve that. That was Phillips and Curtis were shot by a fella. The morning after the crime, with the sheriff's department, I was with him when he lifted the two prints off the steering wheel of the car. And 40 years later, they put both prints together, made a viable print, put it on the computer. Without the computer, we couldn't have done it. And they put it on the computer, put it in the system in 1992, I think. The FBI put everybody's fingerprints in the system. Well, they just kept searching and searching, and they came up with this guy that killed our two officers. And everything matched. Handwriting was the same, and so we were able to convict him.
During his time with the police department, he also joined in the movement to start a Little League.
El Segundo, we really rose to the occasion. I joined the Little League, one of the charter members, and we raised all this money at a baseball field up off of Hillcrest, one where Hessel Chevrolet used to be, and one by the recreation park, now the softball field. And there were the 3 fields we built all in 1 year.
Father, grandfather, and now great-grandfather of 2 remembers local places he and Jean loved to go to.
In my day, there were 2 restaurants you could eat in at night. It was Hacienda Hotel and Pat Mar's restaurant. Well, Pat Mar's closed, and they only had the hacienda. And now we have 200 restaurants in El Segundo. If that was last week, they might be 300 by now.
He also remembers city landmarks and when things began to change.
I remember when they built when they put the organ in the old town music hall. I went in there one night on duty and I saw these wires all over. What are you guys doing in here? Oh, we're putting in a Wurlitzer organ from Long Beach Theater. They became very good friends of mine.
And music is just one of the many things he still enjoys. Music was sure to be at the Porter's home every Friday for gatherings with family and friends. Friends that Charlie would do anything for.
Myrna Spargo. And she was on her tricycle. There she is. She looked just about like that when I rescued her out of a house. The plane crashed in the house next to her. When I got her out, took her outside, and I looked out on the sidewalk. She wasn't there, and I went back in the house. There she was, in the back of the house. She had Alzheimer's, see? And no, I told her to stay out of the house.
Today, after 63 years of marriage, Charlie and Jean shared the secret to happiness.
Oh, I never go to bed mad. Or don't get mad in the first place. But my wife would blow up, and I would see we never fought together. We fight at different times. I get mad when she wasn't mad. You both get mad at the same time, you have problems.
He's so kind, and oh, you just can't help but love him.
The way they care and love one another is the same way they treat this special one that has been around them for 14 years.
So Tug's been here ever since, off and on. He goes home when he wants to, comes here when he wants to. Goes home and eats, comes back or eats here and go home. Whatever he chooses. So Tug is sort of a family fixture.
A loyal friend who even got his very own song many years ago.
They come and they hammer and they pound all day. The little dog has gone to the neighbors to stay. I got those construction blues. I'm blue as I can be. Doggone blue, just bring me misery.
Charlie is perfectly content here in his home, living a quiet life with Jean and the occasional visits from Tugs. Life is slower for him now, but the memories of the often fast and exciting life as a police officer are very much still alive within him. For El Segundo TV, I'm Jennifer Murillo.
What a story, Jen. You know, he must have been so relieved when that murder mystery case got solved.
Yeah, and to hear his colleagues were shot too. How did he cope?
It was actually a really difficult time for him. He wanted to quit that night, but after speaking to the police chief, he told him, go home, think about it, and he went home. It was really hard to sleep, so he had to take a shot of whiskey and a Valium to sleep that night. And after a few hours, he decided he had to go back to the station and help find the murderer.
Wow, it's a good thing that he did, because years later, he was the only witness left, right?
Yes, he actually fingerprinted hundreds of suspects until finally they found the murderer.
So how are Charlie and Jean doing now?
They're actually doing wonderful. They're living day by day and just they love each other very much.